Welcome to JGTCR. I'm Cope, and today we are tuning the Ferrari GTO 84. Let's get into it. There is a considerable amount of finesse needed to drive this Ferrari quickly and effectively. The tail likes to break loose and will do so at any given opportunity. This means we will need to be calculated and smooth on inputs to find the flow. The handling is decent if handled with care. Being heavy-handed gets us a massive dose of oversteer with a side of understeer at the worst moments for good measure. The steering itself is prone to understeer if we overcook our entries into turns and when the rear hooks on corner exit. There is plenty of power on tap which gets us moving quickly. It runs through the revs well, but it does run out of puff up top, so don't rev out too far. Power delivery is very aggressive, so having a lead foot will cause a lot of wheel spin. Even 4th and 5th gear can easily lose traction when taking slight turns at high speed if we are on full throttle. The only cure for this condition is throttle modulation and smooth inputs all around. The brakes are not that great. They slow us down eventually, but it takes much too long to wipe off speed. In their favor, the brakes are stable in straight lines and do decently when braking and turning. Let's collect our time. Seven minutes, 39.6 seconds. And now, the race tune. It should be noted that the race tune for the GTO uses the medium turbo and anti-lag is set to weak. Let's see how it performs on the Nürburgring. The Ferrari GTO is an extremely moody vehicle to say the least. The oversteer was an absolute race killer, and the understeer was there to finish the job. Thankfully, our tune has made this vehicle manageable. However, we must still use caution when pushing the limits. The handling is now reasonable, but we did have to make some serious sacrifices for the extremely erratic tail end. As such, the understeer has been reduced considerably. However, there is still plenty to contend with when the rear hooks on corner exit, so expect to be taken wide. The steering itself is acceptable when not under heavy load, but it becomes rather dull on throttle. So use caution when exiting turns, and if it even hints at understeer, back off about 5%. The power available to us is fairly good. It winds through the gears well, but once again it does run out of puff up top. Around 7 to 8,000 RPM is where power falls away. So it's best to shift around this area for optimal results. The power delivery is absolutely horrid. It is the bane of this GTO's existence. There is just way too much torque in the bottom end, and it only gets worse as we climb in RPM. We will need an advanced degree in throttleology to make this thing stick when pushing. At higher RPM, the handling and braking suffer immensely. Only wind out gears in straight lines and stick to low RPM for maximum control of the vehicle while cornering. The brakes are not great. They are lazy in slowing us down, and it's a struggle to turn and adjust under brakes. So plan braking well in advance and give yourself plenty of breathing room to correct any mistakes. Let's collect our time. Six minutes, 17.6 seconds. And now the drift tune. For the drift tune, we are still using the medium turbo. However, we have switched anti-lag completely off. Let's drift Suzuka. As much as we tune, the tail end remains moody as ever, making it difficult to put the power down effectively. The snaps and whips were killing our attempts to drift. Fortunately, the ballast over the tail end has helped us gain control and make drift manageable. The handling is solid, albeit a touch janky at times. The steering can be skittish one moment and understeering the next. We have to be confident in our movements on circuit. Any indecisiveness and hesitation will cause issues. The power available is great. It cooks the tires extremely well. But the power delivery can be aggressive if we do not apply the appropriate throttle control. Stomping on the gas and bouncing off the limiter can work, but this does increase the risk of spinning. The Ferrari GTO can be a somewhat reasonable drift car if we apply some self-control, throttle modulation, and a decent serving of finesse. And that's all we have for you today, so until next time, keep racing!